Well, we have a little bit of everything over the next 24 hours. Temperatures began in the 50s today. Now we're dealing with rain once again, and we are in the 20s by Friday. This weekend, we're hovering near 32 degrees, and by next week, we have a little bit of a thaw in the forecast. So let's get into today. We're talking all across western New York. There are different flood warnings in place, flood watches for much of western New York as we go into tonight and into tomorrow. All of the bright green is where we have flood warnings. So this one is going to be until late this evening in Chautauqua County. The Conewango Creek, that is where we see some flooding occurring. Some area routes are closed down there between 60 and 62. There's also a flood warning for Buffalo Creek. This is going until late tonight, beginning through this evening, and that's going to be the same case for Cazenovia Creek. The flood warning, it's going to crest sometime late this evening, 7 to 8 o'clock at night, and likely stay in place until we get into the middle of the overnight. And this has a lot to do with how much rain we're going to receive over the next couple of hours. The other is in Cattaraugus County, the flood warning for Allegheny River. It's from Salamanca right to Olean, and this one's going through Friday. So that one's going to last a little bit longer, expected to crest a little bit later this evening and through the overnight tonight. Temperatures are slowly falling. We're already in the 40s. We began close to 60 degrees this morning. Now we're in the 40s for Olean, and we're going to end up in the 30s for western New York later this evening. We have some moderate rain coming down across western New York right now, and we could possibly see around a ½ an inch as this pulls on past. Again, from Buffalo going to come up to about Amherst. You're even going to see it through Grand Island and in Niagara and Orleans County as well, but it's not going to be as significant. It will be a lot less in the way of moderation, and what we have are even a few rumbles of thunder out there right along the 90. That's going to be a messy commute. You'll have to have both hands on the wheel, and also we'll be dealing with some ponding on the roadways outside of where we have some low-lying flood issues. As what we've had almost an inch from Jamestown to Wellsville, well, now we're going to see that stack up once again between Wellsville and Bradford right along the 219 and I-86. Well, you've just been wet all day long, and it's not only what we have coming down at a moderate clip at this point, around 1/4 of an inch an hour, or even a ½ an inch an hour. We have the rest of it to get through as well. So rainfall totals as we go past 1 o'clock to around 4 or 5 in the afternoon, you're just about a ½ an inch from West Seneca right through Boston, and then you go a little further south again where we've had just about an inch. You're going to see another ½ an inch, potentially up to an inch more as we go into this evening, and that's why we have these flood warnings in place across western New York. Hour by hour, this is how we're going to play it out. Going through about 2 to 3 o'clock, we'll see the majority of the heaviest rain out of the area. By 8 o'clock, we are dealing with cloud cover and cold temperatures, and even some leftover snowflakes to come in by late this evening. This isn't going to amount to much, but I want to just bring your attention to the fact that it's been mild, all the snow melt on top of any flooding that we have, any standing water by Friday morning, and temperatures in the 20s. It's going to become like an ice skating rink once again. So those that have to, drive to your destination and then take those first couple of steps into the parking lot, be very careful tomorrow. You'll have to walk like a penguin, as I've seen at some supermarkets say. 27 degrees for the afternoon, a mix of sun and clouds, and looking into the next 7, well, keep yourself bundled up because we're going to need it for the weekend. By next week, you'll have to have the umbrella once again. We'll have temperatures near 50 degrees on Tuesday, although it will be wet. We'll be near 40 degrees by Wednesday. So I was saying on Twitter, it's in Buffalo where you need the ice scraper and the umbrella in the car at the same time.
Oh, I've got all seasons in my trunk.
You have to have everything.
Tweelon had the right idea. Rain boots and a parka. All right.
There you go.
Thanks, Autumn.